Yeah, hi, my name's Sebastian Priaulx. I'm a racing driver, and I'm racing full year in IMSA this year. So yeah, should be good.
So, what is it like working with a new team like AO Racing?
Yeah, they're a brand new team, but they're good. I've had obviously the first test of them last month, which was good. They're really keen to do well, and yeah, really good team. I couldn't really fault anything they did. So obviously very newly formed, but very experienced with the guys they've got in there. So I'm sure they're going to be great.
And then obviously you've got a very experienced driver lineup around you with Gunnar Jeanette, Harry Tinknell for the Daytona 24 hour, and PJ Hyatt. And a young driver like yourself, how helpful is it to have these experienced endurance names driving alongside you?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's really nice to have them there. Being a Daytona, you need experience. You need to know what to do there. It's a long race, so having all those guys with me is an honor. And just like I said, obviously Harry, teammates with him last year, we worked really well together. And yeah, just to do it again for Daytona, it should be a good combo. With also Gunner and PJ, they should be on there as well. So yeah, really good lineup. Really looking forward to it.
And then you'll be driving the new your first GT3 spec Porsche, I mean, and you'll be driving the new Type 992 Porsche 911 GT3R. How different is that to other Porsches you've drove in the past?
It's obviously a 992 Porsche is lovely. They're very much similar to the Cup car in a way, but also very different in other ways. So the shape of it is very much the same, but the actual internal sort of, I'd say the handling in the car is quite a bit different to a Cup car, but not hugely. It's got the same DNA, so it's not massively different. It's just got a bit more aero. I wouldn't say more power. It's just got more aero, a little bit more nimble. The RSR is a little bit different to those two cars, but that car is built a little bit different, so it's quite hard to explain. But the RSR is probably overall a faster car, but the new 911 GT3, yeah, really awesome bit of kit. Sure, it's going to win some big races, so I'm looking forward to driving it.
And then obviously the first event of the IMSA calendar is the Raw before the 24th. So what are the kind of aims for yourself for the test and then for qualifying itself?
I think just to get a nice groove, get comfortable. Just start feeling the car a little bit more. New car for me as well, for everyone pretty much that weekend. So yeah, just learning what the car does, what it doesn't do well, and what it does well. So there's a lot of things to learn over those 3 days, but we'll take it in and hopefully everything's reliable. But yeah, it should be really good. It's a Porsche, so they're normally really amazing with that. So yeah, just really looking forward to getting out and on track and yeah, turning some laps really.
Okay, and then obviously the first race is next weekend, the Daytona 24 hour. What are your aims for the race?
I think obviously everyone wants to win, right? But the aim is probably to keep the car on the track, be quick. Yeah, just keep it smooth, keep it tidy, and that's my main aim really, just to be consistent. I mean, if the car's not there, BOP wise, not to win the race, just to be one of the quickest drivers in the Porsche is a win for me. So yeah, we're going to go out there and just go out there and just be consistent. Really, that's the aim.
And then obviously it being a new Porsche as well, is there any kind of fears with like reliability and like teething issues, or is it you confident it will last?
I mean, that's we'll wait and see, but I think
Yeah.
there's obviously always teething issues with new cars, so there's probably going to be quite a bit of yellow flags, and maybe not during for our cars, but actually to do with the LMDH as they're brand new as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. I don't know, how that's going to plan out, but hopefully the car's reliable. That's what I'm hoping for, but you never know. So we'll just wait and see. I think they've done some big races in it, too. I think Nürburgrings or whatever. So it should be able to do that distance. I'm sure they would make a car that couldn't do it. So yeah, should be good. Yeah.
So how do you physically and mentally prepare for like a 24-hour race?
Um, I mean, you have to do a lot of training, a lot of physical work, mental work as well. So it's just about stamina really, keeping hydrated, all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff involved. But that's pretty much the main objectives, really.
And then what are your aims over like the whole IMSA season in general?
I think yeah, just to win really, just to be out up top, consistent. Like I said, don't crash. Just perform an omega year. Really, that's what I'm hoping for.
And then with the new LMDH car, do you think that will be more tricky in like traffic scenarios, trying to let them pass and stuff? Because obviously they're a bit slower. So is it harder to try? Do you think it'll be harder to try and let them pass and stuff through some of the corners, or?
Um, I don't think so. I think it would be pretty much the same as it is normally because we had LNDH last year in WEC, so they're normally pretty. They're just a little bit slower than MP1, but yeah, they're not too bad. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then obviously you've got some very high profile names in the race, so like Jan and Kevin Magnussen. Is that like a pinch yourself as a young driver that you drive with these people, or are they just another set of opponents that you've got to beat?
I mean, yeah, it's cool to be on the grid with those guys, but they're my sort of competitors. So obviously Kevin Magnussen and Jan, awesome drivers. So yeah, it's great. But I think that I'm not really focused on that sort of stuff. It's more just focusing on what I can do best. And if there's people out there that are like, out there, cool. But I
Yeah.
mainly just focus on myself. Yeah,
Yeah, and then what would you say is harder for you? Because obviously, is it the Daytona 24 hour, or would you say the one's the harder race?
they're both different. Can't
Yeah,
really compare. Well, you can compare them, but they're both different physically, mentally. Le Mans probably quite a bit more draining because the whole week is, so big. It's such a long weekend, a long week, a Le Mans build up. So I think Le Mans probably more draining, but Daytona in itself is draining too. They're both grueling races. Yeah, yeah.
and then with the Daytona track, what would you say is kind of like the hardest corner where you're like, oh no, I'm coming to this corner now? Is it like what would you say is the most challenging one?
They're all challenging, but I'd probably say the infield, turn five, turn six, probably is one of the hardest ones.
Yeah,
Turn pit out the pit lane on cold tires. That's a really
yeah,
hard. That's probably one of the trickiest. Turn two, um, one of the hardest places really. And then it's like bus stop's quite hard because it's dark. But yeah, mainly quite all right through there. Yeah, no, it should be good. I mean, I can't wait to do Daytona. It's a mega track.
yeah.
Yeah.